What is up, you sexy ass motherfuckers? Welcome back to yet another epic Total War League Siege battle. This is going to be part 2 or video 2 of the short series of Advertisable Tactics versus the Death Bringers. In this one, Advertisable Tactics is going to be on the attack, while Deathbringers is going to do whatever they can to be able to hold their city from these invaders. Guys, if you missed the first video, make sure you guys check it out before this one. It was incredible. Such a good battle and a great start to this Total War League video season here on this YouTube channel. If you guys want to see these live as well, this we actually were lucky enough to be able to stream these sieges live on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/CAPN4IS. So make sure you guys are able to stop by, say hi, show it a little bit of love, all of that good stuff. And if you feel an extra dread, make sure you hit that follow button on my Twitch channel as well. Guys, if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps me out tremendously, lets me know that my content isn't complete shite. It really gives me the motivation to keep on making these videos for you guys. But yeah, make sure you grab some snacks, some drinks, go grab yourself some... Wait, I just said grab yourself snacks and drinks. Jerk off a quick one. Call your grandmother and tell her that you love her, preferably not while you're jerking off a quick one. She probably wouldn't appreciate that. And let's get into this real quick. Let's go ahead and look at advertisable tactics here. We've got Bactria and Epirus. Funnily enough, apparently Epirus was played by every single person attacking during this tournament as their first attacking faction. So that's always really funny. Great faction to attack with, but man, that's actually incredible. So looking over at Bactria's comp, we've got Thorax Swordsman, Theros Spears, what is their general? The Bactrian Royal Cavalry, Greek Giant Ballista, and Persian Light Archers, as well as mercenary Syrian Archers. Looking back over at Epirus's army, we've got Illyrian Levies, mercenary Italian Swordsmen, Cretan Archers, and Thero Spears, as well as Royal Peltis as well. Funnily enough, the attackers were convinced that the defenders were going to sally out with a good number of cavalry because they were fighting against Saba. And lately, Saba has brought out the most cataphracts that you have ever seen. So they had Thero Spears planted over here. Lots of Royal Peltas set up and prepared to defend their archers, as well as a unit of cav over here to scout out the gate and make sure they didn't miss any potential cav charges as well. So lots of defenses set up for that. Looking over at the defender's army, we've got Saba and Pontus, guys. In the last video, Pontus was also defending the settlement. Pontus is my favorite faction in this entire game. Their color scheme, their units, everything about them, just absolutely love it. So I like to think that these invaders, Epirus has come back, but this time with a new ally, Bactria, in hopes to fight against Pontus again and finally take this settlement for which they think it is theirs. And this time Pontus, instead of bringing different axe boys, they bring Sabian axe boys as well as swordsmen. So Pontus has called upon their ally Saba in order to help them defend these walls from the invaders that hope to take their homes from them. Looking over at Pontus's army composition, we've got Eastern Archers, Pontic Swordsmen, Celtic Warriors, Thero Spears, and then a Pontic General and a Scorpion as well. I love that they brought a Scorpion to this battle, just because you don't see it as much anymore, but it's just such a good unit if you can position them in a great place. And look at this. I mean, this thing has a great view down the center of this aisle over here, so it can get a lot of potential kills as well. Love to see it. As well as the Pontic General, we've got the Pontic Royal Cavalry, a very heavy shot cavalry, very powerful, so good to see that as well. Last but certainly not least, we have Saba defending kind of the initial invasion over here on the walls. We've got Sabian Swordsmen, Desert Spearmen, Mercenary Mass Gat Marauders, a great unit, very powerful, always a good unit to bring us Saba, as well as some Slingers and some Marib Guard, and then of course their general, the Camel Cataphracts. We've got some initial fire from the Scorpion going into these Illyrian levies, kind of weakening them a little bit, just kind of softening them up so that way their unit of swords can kind of charge in and get some good kills against them. Sabian swordsmen charging in, flipping bodies and massacring their enemies. We got people jumping, sword slicing and men dying all everywhere, dude. It's beautiful, and these Illyrian levies just cannot handle the reckless hate that the Sabian swordsmen are bringing in this battle. Looking over at the rest of the battle, it looks like Epirus is going in heavy with their lighter infantry. We've got mercenary Italian swordsmen, Illyrian levies charging in, trying to overwhelm the defenders with their pure numbers. Illyrian levies doing whatever they can to be able to soften up this initial defense. Looking over, we got the middle defense, Illyrian levies fighting against desert spearmen, mercenary Italian swordsmen fighting against Sabian swordsmen, and a great move by the attackers as well. We've got a mercenary Italian swordsman coming over here, going to be able to hopefully get a good kind of flanking fire over on the Sabian swords, and do a lot of damage to them as well. We've got another unit of mercenary Italian swords kind of guarding the flank. Bactria over here charging in with their hillmen, taking a ton of fire. It was sad, I missed it. But yeah, as you can see, the Theros spears were on auto or fire at will, so they actually wasted a decent amount of their ammunition here on the Bactrian Hillmen, as well as the Pontic swords throwing in all of their Pila in here. I mean, the Hillmen got melted, but that is definitely a unit that you want to see fall from all of those range capabilities. And we've got a unit of Pontic Peltas close behind, ready to help their troops in this endeavor as well. Looking back over into the front line too, yep, we've got this unit of Illyrian levies breaking against the might of the Sabian swordsmen. We've got more troops, Royal Peltas, automatically going into the fray, getting shot at by archers, getting charged by mercenary Magcat marauders, all kinds of different troops going in, but they are not going to stop. They've got a unit of Peltas fighting against these two units, a unit of Sabian swordsmen as well as a unit of Mascat marauders, and then mercenary Samnite warriors fighting against this other unit of Mascat marauders. They are going to go ahead and take some fire on the flank. Great move by Pontus, great move by Saba, bringing in their slingers and their eastern archers to be able to get some great flanking fire on the Samnite warriors, but a great counter move as well from the archers of Epirus, kind of firing back at the archers sitting at the walls. I love this hat. This hat is actually the best thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. But yep, breaking those archers and making sure that they cannot continue to fire on their men, allowing their men the opportunity to fight for a longer period of time as well. We've got Cretan archers firing onto these slingers as well, keeping them from being able to fire on their troops. We've got more troops flooding in from the defenders, another unit of Mascat marauders. This unit of Sabian swordsmen got completely surrounded by Royal Peltas, as well as another unit of mercenary Samnite warriors, getting absolutely melted. These Mascat marauders are going to go ahead and trade, freshen up a little bit, have a little bit of a charge bonus go off on these more armored heavy infantry. Royal Peltas are nothing to scoff at. They are a very powerful unit, so the defenders definitely have to be careful with this one. But yep, the Royal Peltas doing what they can to be able to move into the settlement and do as much damage as they possibly can. Looking back over at Bactria, it looks like Bactria is just kind of sitting back, relaxing. We've got Pontus actually sending over a unit of Pontic swordsmen to completely surround these two units of mercenary Italian swordsmen, which are fighting valiantly, doing whatever they can to do as much damage as they possibly can against their opponents, the mercenary Magas Marauder and the Pontic swordsmen, but they are beginning to break against their might. We do have a unit of Thorax swordsmen quickly moving in to support their allies. Bactria is starting to send some troops over here to be able to help Epirus push over on this side. It looks like they're primarily, the attackers are primarily focused over on this side, pushing through the middle and the right side for the defenders and left side for the attackers as well. So they're really just pushing in with almost everything they got. They got hard push in to be able to fight against these troops. Mercenary Mascat marauders, these Samnite warriors are kind of forming a column formation to be able to charge past these frontline mercenary Mascat marauders in order to make sure that they can't continue to cycle charge. We do have a unit of Camel Cataphracts, the general from Saba, close by to be able to help support their troops, support their brothers in arms. But Epirus is doing the smart move of moving in a unit of Thero Spears to be able to counteract the Cavs should they decide to charge in, but also utilize that ammo on any unit that they can see, maybe get some flanking fire on these Mercenary Mascot Marauders to be able to get a lot of kills on them as well. Looking back out, we've still got the artillery over here being protected by the Bactria in general. We've got 85 kills on this artillery so far with plenty of ammo left, I'm hoping, but it looks like that artillery is kind of just focusing down this kind of clumping of units over here. Units of Celtic Warriors, Thero Spears, Pontic Swordsmen, all of the good stuff as well. Archers falling back temporarily to be able to stop taking fire from both the artillery and the archers. We do have some breakage from Epirus over here. Those mercenary Italian swords are breaking, but we do have this unit of thorax swordsmen in the fray to be able to take the place of the mercenary Italian swords and hopefully take out these units. We've got Desert Spearmen, a very cheap and weak unit, just kind of holding the line, doing what they can to soften up these thorax swords. And the Pontic swordsmen, of course, such a good unit in here as well, trying to just support their brothers in arms and get some damage in. Great moves by the Thorax Swordsmen, still throwing their Peltas into these Pontic Swordsmen, doing a lot of damage here, and really just trying to get as many kills as possible. You can see this guy wildly swinging his sword and his shield, even though he's got a Pila just stuck right into it. That's got to be uncomfortable. It's got to be very heavy and very awkward to be able to fight with, but I suppose he doesn't want to drop his shield because then he won't be able to defend himself nearly as much either. So... Yep. Give me 1 second here, guys. I am so sorry. Alright, sorry about that, guys. We are back. But yes, the Eastern Spearmen from Saba are actually beginning to break against the might of the Thorax Swordsmen. We do have some depleted Mercenary Mascot Marauders here nearby, as well as a couple of units of Pontic Swords. But they're not too close. Perhaps the attackers can actually begin to make some ground here before the defenders can move up their troops too far, maybe take over this courtyard, which would be really good for them. We also have the general moving up with their Camel Cataphracts, presumably to be able to use Second Wind and or the damage ability. Now I can't remember what it's called, but the ability that allows troops to be able to deal more damage as well. Sabian Swordsman, 90 men left, very tired with 147 kills, fighting against a very elite unit of Samnite Warriors. Very, very impressive, I gotta say. Looking over on this side, Epirus is doing an amazing job of making some ground here. He's got his Royal Peltas, what's left of them, with 161 kills, 1 chevron gained from said kills, as well as a unit of Thero Spears, kind of able to continue to push back their opponents and make ground over here. Their opponents are going to go ahead and start to fall back. The Mercenary Mascot Marauders, which are getting shot right in the butt as they're falling back. That was an amazing shot. Just getting absolutely melted by arrows. That was beautifully done by the attackers. And then we've got the Marib Guard here set up and ready to defend their homeland, to defend, I guess not their homeland, but to defend their ally settlement against those that wish to take it from them. And then we've got another unit of Thero Spears with 20 kills. I'm assuming they probably still have a little bit of ammo left. They are here and ready to fight against their opponents as well. The Marib Guard are kind of doing a little bit of a flanky-panky here against these troops, but now they're going to go ahead and fall back and let's see. Archers beginning to move up as well, get into a better position. We've got the General, the Royal Peltas General unit. We've still got 2 fresh Royal Peltas units from Epirus too, as well as a few other units, so it's definitely going to be dangerous for the defending forces, but slowly but surely the defenders are beginning to fall. The Mercenary Mascot Marauders are crumbling. We've got the Thorax Swordsmen able to move past and start to make even more ground against their opponents, and with the support of Bactria, Bactria is doing an amazing job of supporting their ally and keeping Pontus distracted over here, utilizing 1 unit of Thorax Swordsmen to hold up a unit of Mercenary Naked Swords, Celtic Warriors, Thorax Swordsmen, and a unit of Thero Spears that's now kind of falling back to be able to rest up, and doing an amazing job, and even breaking this unit of Pontic Swordsmen as well, having 50 kills so far, 132 men left, still active, still able to kick butt. And then we've got a lot of arrows going into these Mercenary Naked Swords as well. I wonder if they were able to use their charge ability at all, because they have a special charge ability which gives them a huge charge bonus and damage bonus as well. And it's a very powerful ability. But yeah, those arrows are going to absolutely massacre these mercenary naked swords as well. Bactria, man, dude, these Pontic swords actually have a great position here. Their backs are completely against the wall. It's going to be really hard for any sort of targeting with those archers. And this tower still has ammo. It's still shooting. I think they're shooting at the cataphracts, which is a great target for some free kills. Very expensive general unit. But these Pontic swordsmen have their backs against the wall. They're able to kind of keep the archers from firing because just the unit mapping, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, of Rome 2 is a little bit iffy sometimes when you're trying to shoot past a wall here. So great move by Pontus. Looking back over at Epirus' side, we do have the Marib guard fighting valiantly against these Theros spears, trying to hold them back, get some kills, and just do as much damage as they possibly can. Epirus moving up their cheaper unit of archers. They're not as heavily armored, not as much damage type of archers in to be able to try to do as much damage from the walls as they possibly can. And we have some artillery answering the call, firing into these Marib Guard, beginning to weaken them, firing into the rest of these mercenary mascats and the slingers as well. Great move. The slingers are trying to get some great kills, but the archers are answering the call. They are going to go ahead and fire everything that they can at these slingers, which only have 3 kills. Definitely rough. And hopefully be able to break these slingers as well. Let me know who you guys are rooting for down in the comments below. Are you guys rooting for the attackers in this one? Or are you guys rooting for advertisable tactics? Or are you guys rooting for the Deathbringers? Again, like last time, I don't have anyone that I'm rooting for yet. This is a very equal battle, and I typically like to root for the underdog here. I don't know, because Epirus has taken a lot of damage here. They've lost a lot of men, but so is Saba. Pontus is still looking relatively healthy as well, so it's really hard to say who would be the underdog in this one. And oh my goodness, these Marib Guard, these expensive units are getting absolutely melted by archers as they attempt to retreat. Great move by Epirus, I think. Epirus was being played by Bubini in this battle, so great moves by Bubini, really using their archers to the best of their ability and getting some great flanking fire on retreating units, and just damaging them a ton while they try to retreat. But it looks like Saba is going to go ahead and fall back towards the town center, towards these kind of like little choke points here, and try to hold these roads against the might of Epirus, while Bactria is still fighting valiantly against the Pontic troops as well. We've got... Oh, that's Pontus. I was like, wait, we've got arrows firing into their own troops? No, we've got Bactria firing into these Pontic Peltas, just trying to stop them from being able to rain hell upon their troops, getting a ton of kills. I mean, their sides are completely exposed, their backs are exposed, and they're going to take a lot of damage from all of this just rain of archer fire. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we've got Thorax Swordsman holding off against these Theros Spears. We've got another unit of Thorax Swordsman beginning to break against the might of Pontus. Pontic Swordsman doing a great job of holding against these their opponents. Mercenary Celtic Warriors coming in for a little bit of a flank against this troop as well to be able to get some great kills. And look at that zebra pants, dude. You can't have any better pants than zebra pants. They are truly the best. Pajama pants for the win. It looks like the archers are actually done firing at these Peltas, so the Peltas are going to be able to continue to fire undisturbed down on the Thorax Swordsmen that are fighting against them as well. We've got a whole clumping of weakened Thorax Swordsmen as well as Theros Spears going against these Pontic Swords with 156 kills, still holding valiantly, still getting a whole bunch of kills, but it looks like Bactria just kind of did the old Control-A, grab everything that they can, and charge it into the fray, but it looks like Pontus is sending in mercenary Celtic Warriors to help support their Pontic Swordsmen brothers in arms in this endeavor. I really don't know who's going to win this one. This is going to be a very, very tough battle. You know I had to get that screenshot as well. But yeah, that's going to be a really interesting one to view. Looking back over at Epirus again, it's still a little bit of a standstill. Epirus has got their troops facing off, taunting the Marib Guard and the remnants of Saba, just letting them know who's boss, just trying to weaken their morale, piss them off, hope that they'll make a mistake, just throwing some mean words over at them as well. And then we've got the archers from Epirus actually firing into the Eastern archers, absolutely decimating them. doing a lot of damage. We've got 75 kills, 129, 199 kills with those archers, and we've got another unit of archers over here with 105 kills thus far, trying to help support their Bactrian brothers in arms. Bactria is starting to actually break and lose this unit of Thorax Swordsmen with 35 men left. We've got a unit of Pontic Swords charging outside of the walls, presumably to maybe go after these archers, which are out of ammo. They have their swords out. They're going in for the attack. And then now we've got another unit of archers going in, as well as this Bactrian Noble Horse. Bactria did bring a unit of Noble Horse as well. But yeah, this Bactrian Noble Horse is going to go ahead and charge into these Pontic Swordsmen and get a lot of kills. I don't know if I would have charged my Pontic Swordsmen if there were spears outside of the city walls. It could very well have been a little bit of a misclick as well. Let me go ahead and grab some coffee here real quick, guys. Just to try to make sure I don't cough in your guys' eardrums again. But these archers are actually beginning to break against these Pontic Swordsmen, but they're doing their job. They're holding the line against the swordsmen that are trying to charge the rest of the archers as well. But yep, we've got the Bactrian shock cavalry getting a nice side charge into these oh my goodness, into this sword unit and getting a lot of kills, knocking down a ton of troops. But yeah, they'll be able to get some great damage off against these guys, and before they can fully recover from that, they're going to go ahead and pull back and get ready for another charge. And with the archer support coming in from Epirus as well, getting some great flanking fire on those swords, yeah, these swords are not going to be long for this world. They do have a decent amount of kills with 135. A lot of those are going to be archer kills. But yep. And they're going to go ahead and throw their peltus into the archers, which is perfect for the cavalry. Good that the pelts, or that the javelins aren't actually going into the cavalry. Instead, they're going into the archers that are out of ammo as well. And we've got the Bactrian Noble Horse coming in to hopefully finish off these Pontic Swordsmen for good, and keep them out, or knock them back into their city gates for good as well. We've got a unit of depleted Celtic warriors. We've still got a unit of depleted Pontic swordsmen fighting against thorax swords and theros spears. Pontic swordsmen with 187 kills. Well done, Pontus, doing a great job of holding this position. And we've got the mercenary Italian swordsmen that we saw at the beginning of this battle coming back into the fray. And really trying to do whatever they can to be able to take out Pontus for good. Still a little bit of a standstill over here between Saba and Epirus. We do have the Royal Peltus firing into the Marib Guard, just trying to do as much damage as possible. But is this going to be a charge, or is this going to be a taunt? Let us see. Let us see. Samnite Warriors moving in. I think that they're going to charge in, guys. Hold the line. Hold. Ooh, there we go. We got the Samnite Warriors charging into the Marib Guard, getting a great charge bonus off, getting some great kills. Will the Marib Guard be able to hold the line, or will they fall against the might of Epirus? That guy just got wrecked. Oh my goodness. Looking over here, we've got the Mercenary Mascot Marauders close behind to be able to help hold this position, but it looks like Epirus is actually transferring a lot of troops over as well. We've got Bactria moving up their unit of Theros Spears to be able to start pushing up the middle and doing as much damage as possible as well. So it looks like they are pushing on all sides. Pontus doing whatever they can, using whatever units that they have. Pontus even sending in their Pontic Royal Cavalry in with those Camel Cataphracts. Camel Cataphracts sallying out of the city, keeping those noble horse from being able to do too much damage. Camel Cataphracts going in, gonna stop these archers. These archers are out of ammo, but these are bodies that could be used to block their troops, to be used to use damage, and the Cataphracts are gonna go in and get a lot of damage off. We've got the noble horse going in to be able to help support their archers, to be able to try and kill these Camel Cataphracts, as well as the general. We've got a general v general battle here. These guys running right through. They're like, oh, do we want to turn around? Do we want to fight against this general, or do we want to get the hell out of Dodge? And Pontus is going to send in his general as well. It looks like Bactria is going to go ahead and retreat his general, get the hell out of Dodge, and he's going to go ahead and keep his Bactrian Noble Horse in the fray to be able to just, again, do as much damage as they possibly can. General down to 54 men with 130 kills. The archers are almost completely broken. 2 units breaking now, 1 unit broken, 2 units broken, and 1 wavering as well as the Bactrian Noble Horse is beginning to waver and break, and they are gone. Well played by the defenders, really just not letting the attackers continue to take the fight to their opponents, but utilizing their general to be able to take out as many troops as they possibly can. We've got Epirus moving in to be able to fight against these Pontic swordsmen. We've got 2 units of depleted Thera spears moving in against these Pontic swordsmen. Hopefully he's gonna. That's Pontic archers actually trying to do what they can to be able to support these Celtic warriors. They're firing into these Thera spears. I would almost turn 1 unit of Thera spears to be able to get a flank on these Celtics, free up this unit of Bactrian Thera spears, so that way they can kind of move in and support their troops. Over here, we've got a very, very small depleted unit of Marib Guard fighting off against the general unit of Epirus, the Royal Pontus unit, as well as the Samnite warriors. We've got 2 Slinger units kind of retreating. We've got a Pontic Celtic warrior unit fresh with 160 men. Ready to be able to defend the bridge. The bridge is the command points here, so all they have to do is be able to command that, or keep control of that, so that way, as long as the defenders do not keep control of this point, they can potentially hold it off long enough to be able to win by timer as well. But the Royal Peltis are not letting up. They are moving in. They still have some ammo left over, so they're going to go ahead and use it on the Celtic Warriors. Again, try to get as much damage as they possibly can before charging in. But now they are going to full charge the General in all of his glory, bloodied up, but still ready for a great fight. Moving in, shields up, ready in case they have Peltis, which they certainly do. It looks like they might throw it into them here soon. Maybe they don't have any Peltis left. I think they might be out, but the General is going to charge into the Celtic Warriors. The Celtic Warriors are going to start to try and retreat. Scared of the more elite General, but realizing that they have nowhere to go, they turn around and they decide to fight for what they believe to be rightfully theirs in all of their glory, their pajama glory with the light-colored capes and everything else. Fantastic. We've also got these archer units moving up, still having a little bit of ammo. They're moving up to be able to help support this general as well. The general is going to turn back around and fight against these Celtic warriors and try and break them. Celtic warriors really utilizing this arrow tower to their advantage as well. Saba coming in with their general, 21 men left, 208 kills, killing a whole bunch of mercenary Samnite warriors, but sadly breaking in the process, getting a lot of kills, breaking the mercenary Samnite warriors, and getting a lot of damage against those archers as well. We've got the Pontic general moving back into the fray, coming back into the city, trying to turn around and charge against these archers, charge against these men. We've got Bactria going around the flanks to be able to attempt to engage with the Pontic general. They are weakened though, so they do have to be careful. We've got Pontus moving in with another unit of Pontic swords to be able to try and help support these Celtic warriors, but it is too late. The Celtic warriors have broken against the might of the Royal Peltis. The general is going to go ahead and move up with some archers in an attempt to go ahead and capture this tower here. We've got the Bactrian general charging against the Pontic Royal Cavalry, getting kind of caught up on this wall real quick, but instead deciding to turn around to be able to try and support against these Pontic swordsmen. We've got the Royal Peltis setting up ready for the charge. They're going to countercharge against these Pontic swordsmen and just try and take them out before they can truly do too much damage. We've got the Bactrian general coming in to be able to try and get a little bit of a flanking charge on these Pontic swords to support their troops. We've got the Pontic general moving into these archers to try to take them out for good, to make sure that they cannot continue to do damage to their troops. Bactrian general turning around and charging into the Pontic general in order to try and quell the threat that they are currently facing, because that Pontic general can certainly do a lot of damage. 128 kills and counting very rapidly upwards. We've got 28 men left in this Bactrian Royal Cav. We've got Epirus moving in some Cretan archers as well. He's got his general set up. His general is very weak though, but he does have his general set up in order to charge against the enemy. We've got Bactria over here quickly trying to send some Thorax swordsmen and Thera spears, and then we've got a unit of mercenary Italian swordsmen all quickly trying to move back up and help with this engagement. We've got the Pontic Royal Cavalry just kicking ass. I mean, this Bactrian Royal Cavalry only has 18 men left. Pontus utilizing their archers to be able to fire into whatever they can to support their troops. Bactria's general breaking, Bactria's army breaking. It looks like Bactria has broken, but the Pontic's general is not done yet. They are in the fray with these archers. They're going to do everything in their power to be able to take out these archers and hopefully charge into this general unit to be able to do as much damage as possible and hopefully break through so they can retake their center point and take away the victory that the attackers wish so much for within this battle here. We've got a unit of 106 Royal Peltas charging into this general unit with still with 63 men left. We've got these archer units that are out of ammo turning around to be able to engage with these mercenary Italian swordsmen and Cretan archers, stop them from being able to charge the flanks of their general unit here. We've got the Royal Peltas general of Epirus hiding, just trying to stay out of range of any fire or anything, just stay alive and continue to support the men from afar and give them as many bonuses as they can. We've got a unit of mercenary Cretan archers charging into this unit of slingers with 31 kills, trying to silence them and keep them from continuing to fire into their flanks. Can this Pontic Royal Cavalry take the victory here today? They have killed a couple of Royal Peltas. No. No, they cannot, because the attackers were able to capture the point and put the defenders on a very, very limited time limit. That cavalry was unable to take the victory just by the skin of their teeth against their opponents. Well played by both teams. Oh my goodness. Again, guys, if you want to see this video, if you want to see these sieges live, I will be streaming a whole lot more Total War League sieges on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/CAPN4IS. Let's go ahead and end the replay and look at the kills here. So again, it was Lemerix and Kaichi versus Bubini and Arctic. Lemerix playing as Pontus, Bubini playing as Epirus. Let's go ahead and look. Epirus is the MVP of the game with 2,422 kills. Lemerix not too far behind. Lemerix doing good with their archers, 147, 112 on the Scorpion, 219 on that cavalry. We have 125 on the Celtics, 156, 118, 106, 282 on these Pontic swordsmen, 198 and 174 on the Thero spears as well. Looking over at Epirus, holy shit. 233 kills on their general, 178 on cheap archers, 198, 237, 261. We've got 209, 164, 165, 187, 120. So look over at Kaichi, aka Saba, and Arctic, aka Bactria. Saba getting 1,765 kills, 151, 123, 153, 102, 112, 172, 165, 201, and Arctic with 2,218 kills. We've got 184, 173, 194, 175, 164, 147, 203, 203, 126, 130, 166, and 102. What an amazing battle, guys. You will not be able to see battles like this from anywhere else. Total War League is one for the pros. Always fun to be able to see. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.